Grisham has found a way to buy votes by fixing the problem she created. Hello, everybody. My name's Nick Driver, and I am. So, today we're going to be talking about Grisham's plan to improve workforce solutions. A plan that doesn't need to be put in place if she didn't create the problem in the first place. Well, not just her. I mean, the whole Democratic caucus basically made this problem for multiple states, for thousands, hundreds of thousands of people across the United States, and definitely hit us hard here in New Mexico, especially since they encouraged fraud and people to basically apply for unemployment. So, I have a few articles brought up. Just remember to hit that like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I'm still banned from Twitter. Who knows how long that's going to be. I guess I've been doing something right if I'm getting banned from Twitter. But anyways, let's jump into this first article by the Albuquerque Journal. So Lujan Grisham announces plan to improve workforce solutions. This is by Dan Boyd. So Santa Fe, in attempt to stabilize a beleaguered New Mexico State government agency, Governor Lujan Grisham on Friday announced overhauls aimed at helping the Department of Workforce Solutions better handle a barrage of pandemic-related unemployment benefit claims. Department of Workforce Solutions to better handle a barrage of pandemic-related unemployment benefit claims. First of all, like I said, this is created by her. We wouldn't have had this barrage of unemployment claims if our dictator of a governor didn't shut down so many businesses who they deemed non-essential. Just saying, that right there is the problem. The problem is Michelle Lujan. So you want to fix this problem? Don't vote for her again. It's that simple. Don't give her any more power than she already exploits. All right? So the changes include a partnership with Attorney General Hector Balderas' office to crack down on rampant fraudulent jobless claims estimated to be as high as 133 million over the last year, as well as hiring an additional 110 employees to staff an unemployment operations center that has struggled to keep up with a spike in phone calls from those seeking benefits. They want to hire 110 more employees to solve this problem. What happens when the problem no longer exists? Are we going to have an overfunded unemployment office with a bunch of employees that we're paying to do nothing? Or are a lot of people going to lose their jobs and be unemployed themselves? I don't know. I don't think they're thinking through to the future. The changes include a partnership. Oh, I already read that. New Mexicans expect and deserve a state government that can deliver for them no matter their circumstances. Lujan Grisham said in a statement, too many agencies for too many years, even decades, were underfunded, hollowed out from the inside, unprepared for emergencies. Whose fault is that? It's not the taxpayers' fault, but it is the people voting for Democrats' fault, because New Mexico has been ran by Democrats for a long time. So now the burden is falling on us taxpayers because we're going to have to fund these agencies. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a hike in taxes coming in the next couple of years. I mean, it's not like it's not going to happen because inflation is going crazy already. But with their new plans to fund the underfunded government agencies that we really don't need, I'm pretty sure our taxes are going to go up in some way. More than likely, they're going to hit us in property taxes, because that's usually where they like to hit us. New Mexico's unemployment fund was largely depleted last year with an explosion of jobless claims, prompting the state to borrow $278 million from the federal government to continue paying benefits to unemployed workers. Here's the thing. If they didn't pay these people extra money to be unemployed, it wouldn't have been as bad of a problem. We could have easily been way better off if they didn't incentivize people to basically leave their job and file for unemployment. and then also to sit on unemployment as the pandemic has been dwindling down for over a year. Like, it was already bad enough the initial response, 15 days, okay. After 15 days, businesses should have been running back up and opening, and people should have been back to work. And most of these people who were invited back to work who declined it should not get benefits. It's that simple. It's the fear mongering from the Democratic side has led a lot of people to stay on unemployment for as long as they can. The extra incentive has let them stay on unemployment for longer than they can. And people like me and other middle class families who have been working through the whole pandemic are the ones paying for it. It's that simple. In all, the state has paid over $4 billion in jobless benefits during the pandemic, a figure that includes funds made available under federal stimulus plans. $4 billion. But frustration with the department's ability to handle and process unemployment claims has persisted. And former agency secretary Bill McComley left the job in April out of concern of his safety following a flood of threats targeting him and others in the department. Maybe if we focused on this problem at the beginning of the pandemic, we could have done something. But now, of course, now that the pandemic's over, let's go ahead and focus on a problem that's not going to exist much longer. It's really simple. Get people back to work. Open businesses up. Make it easier for small businesses to start businesses instead of making it harder. Quit giving all the money to these big box stores that aren't doing crap for our state. It's really that simple. In addition, a recent legislative report found the Department of Workforce Solutions might have overpaid unemployment benefits by $250 million during the COVID-19 pandemic due to a mix of fraud and human error. I don't even want to. Really? $250 million of overpayment, and we borrowed $278 million. So there's all our borrowed money is in overpayment. Are they going to force these people to pay back the money? I don't know. I know I had to deal with unemployment once, and it wasn't the funnest thing, and that's why I didn't apply for it when I lost my job. It's okay, I found another one in no time because guess what? It's not that hard to find a job. But, when you're being incentivized to apply for unemployment and exploit a system that doesn't really need to be there, then yeah, crap like that's going to happen. All right. The report also cited outside audits that found jobless benefits determination errors likely caused by low staffing levels and training issues, an incorrect interpretation of both federal guidance and state law aimed at holding employers harmless from layoffs that occurred during the pandemic. New Mexico's unemployment rate has been among the nation's highest in recent months. It was at 8.3% as of April, and the state recently reimposed job search requirements for those receiving jobless benefits that had been suspended at the onset of the pandemic. Those job search requirements should have never been disappeared. Never. There's no reason to take them away. There's plenty of jobs still going on that were understaffed during that pandemic that could have used the help from people, but since they didn't have to look for jobs and they could have sat on their ass all day at home and make more money than going out and finding an actual job and being a productive member of society, no, they chose to take the lazy way out thanks to Michelle Grisham. They were given this opportunity to just take taxpayer money with no repercussion. There were slightly more than 90,000 state residents receiving jobless benefits as of April, down from 120,000 claiming unemployment benefits at the start of January, according to the DWS. 90,000. That's a lot of people. There are a lot of jobs out there. You want to fix the staffing problem, lower taxes, and get people back to work. Quit raising taxes, quit inflating the dollar, and get people back to work and being productive members of society. That will fix the problem. But no, you are doing the opposite. And right now, you're this is just an attempt for her to get more votes when she goes back for re-election, which I hope nobody votes for her. She has been a terror on New Mexico since she's been in office, even before the pandemic. The pandemic just highlighted her dictatorship. The overhauls Lujan Grisham announced Friday during the news conference at the governor's office included steps intended to ensure the Department of Workforce Solutions can answer phone calls from 100% of unemployed New Mexicans. How are they planning on doing that? By hiring unemployed New Mexicans or by outsourcing? Who knows? We'll see. But hey, she wants to answer 100% of calls. That's going to be fun. The agency has fallen short of that goal in recent months as it only answered 66,000 of the 1.5 million calls it received in March, or 4.4% of them, according to the DWS Acting Secretary Ricky Cerna. Oh my gosh. That's just hilarious. 4.4% of the calls because they're understaffed, but then of course we're in a pandemic, so they weren't going to hire people because hey, they didn't want to make sure anyone's sick. But yet again, this pandemic really wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. And now we're in this hole. And like I said, she's trying to buy votes. She's trying to get these unemployed people more money and taken care of so that way they'll vote for her in the end. It's just that simple. It's ridiculous. However, Cerna said that out of the total calls for March, there were 169,000 unique phone numbers that called the center, meaning the department connected with about 40% of the people who attempted to reach it. So they got 40% of the people to answered and taken care of. Okay. Meanwhile, Lujan Grisham also announced that State Senator Michael Padilla, Democrat Albuquerque, who runs an Albuquerque-based call center, has agreed to review the agency's call center in his personal capacity and on a volunteer basis, and recommend possible policy changes. To me, that sounds like she's about to stuff another Democrat's pocket. I mean, in his personal capacity and on a volunteer basis, how am I supposed to believe that? He runs a call center, and the problem is the call center. More than likely, he's gonna propose, give us the contract to help answer these phone calls. How do you not see the corruption? It's just ridiculous. We have added staff, and we will add and train more, the Democratic governor said, but I want our approach to be strategic. I want us to ask why these systems didn't always work the way they needed to in an emergency and get to the bottom of how they're going to work. They didn't work because you created an emergency that no one would have seen coming. You closed down multiple businesses for something that many of them didn't need to close down. But you allowed big boxes to stay open, but all these other businesses had to close down because they weren't essential. Do you guys not see how this is her way of trying to buy votes from people? She's simply using our taxpayer money to buy votes. She's going to hire people for a job that's not going to exist within 6 months. And then we're going to have an overfunded unemployment office, which is already, in my opinion, overfunded. I mean, we had the ability to spend, what did they say, $4 billion? This is a joke. Michelle Lujan is a joke. The fact that people voted for her and the fact that there's people that are going to still vote for her after all this is ridiculous. New Mexicans, open your eyes. Start thinking for yourself and realize Grisham is not here to help us. She is here to line the Democratic pockets and to run a Democratic agenda that is doing nothing but hurting New Mexicans. We are the lowest in education. We have a rising crime. We have nothing really to brag about here in New Mexico. Yet she acts like we do. Even though they've kept running everything into the ground. She's destroyed the oil industry. What's next? Who knows when they're going to come for you next? When they come for your job. They've made it almost impossible for small businesses and help big boxes businesses take all our money. Don't vote for her. Vote for anybody but her. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let me know. Like, share, disagree, agree. Do all that fun stuff. But that's all I got for you today. I'm Nick Driver. I'm a New Mexican, and I care about you.